That first one under the line items, it says House of Peace. I'm not sure how that got misprinted, but that's actually Northern Oxford Regional Solid Waste Board. And that 162,204 is I'm pretty sure that's flat funded the same as it was last year. So anyway, if you want to just make that correction in your drawing, and
want to repeat that, please?
yes, on Article 18, the first line item says House of Peace. That's actually NORSWB is how it's been listed in previous year's warrants. It's just a misprint. So that's no swap. That's basically the place down by the Big Apple there. So, Article 3, to see if the town will vote to fix a date when taxes are due and payable for the ensuing year. And the recommendations are right there. May I have a motion on that? Yes.
Can we have a discussion before motion, or after?
We should have a motion first, yes, thank you.
So moved.
Thanks. Motion and a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Questions, comments? Yes.
It says half of the year, but there's actually not 6 months between April and September. It's 5 months, and then you got a gap between September to April of 7 months. Is that the intention here? Is that what we want to do? Do we want to split this into 6 month intervals? Say go March, September, or go April, October. That actually is half a year.
Yeah, I believe what it is the first half of the year taxes are due September 15th, and the second half is due April 15th.
Right, but I understand that. But I mean, so people don't get confused and say, well, geez, it seems as though that September date gets quicker than that April date. It's because it's 5 months between April and September, and 7 months between September and April. I would make a motion that we make it a true half-a-year schedule of either March 15th and September 15th, or April 15th and October 15th.
Okay, and you can amend this motion, but before you do, maybe someone else can respond to that. As far as cash flow goes, that's important.
I believe the town has not had to do it.
We have a motion on the floor. I'm sorry.
I believe the town has not had to do a tax anticipation note for cash flow reasons. So I guess it would be doable, but in past practice has been these 2 days is what people are accustomed to. I believe the reference is the first half a year's taxes. We probably should have put that extra word in versus.
Right, okay. I guess I would amend it with a motion of going to April 15th and October 15th, which will be true 6 month period apart on behalf of taxpayers. That would be my amended motion.
You mean that you're amending it for the first half of the year to be due October 15th?
Exactly.
And the second half due April 15th?
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm not sure what that would do to your cash flow, but it may be...
It would help mine.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I'm concerned about it.
Well, you may be brought back for another town meeting to approve a tax anticipation note, that's all. That means borrowing money from the bank. So before we have any more discussion on that, I need a second. Is that a second? Okay, so I have a second to amend that to October 15th and April 15th. Questions, comments? Yes.
I would agree with the motion because of the bills being sent out in August. With the high tax burden in this town, it would give us a little more time to raise the funds for that first bill.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Town manager will probably have to speak to this, but my guess would be if we're pushing off the receipt of revenues for an additional 30 days, we are in fact going to have to end up borrowing money to make it until we start receiving tax revenue.
That would
And
be,
if you want to make it 6 months, it would probably make more sense to back off the second payment and draw that one forward.
okay, so I have a comment back there that maybe it should be October 15th, September 15th, and whatever 6 months from now, would be, March 15th. Yes,
I would recommend that you not go with March, only because elderly people and all of us are trying to pay oil bills and stuff in March, and I just don't know, if we have a meeting on putting it to September and April, through town meeting. So if we do go with October, we've had to adjust to that. I don't know how the adjustment occurs, but March would be, I think, difficult among people in the heating season coming out of winter to go with March.
okay, thank you. Other questions, comments? Yes,
What is the tax, when has it always been? Has it always been September and April? Have we had a problem with that this past years? Then why are we trying to change something that's worked? Why not leave it as is?
thank you. I think that was you didn't necessarily need an answer to that question. You're voicing your opinion that you think it's okay September, okay, yes.
I can just give an answer. For us, it's difficult to come up with, you have a less amount of time for September. We have money put aside every week to go towards taxes. It's only 5 months, so it's harder than it is for the one in April. It'd just be easier to have that extra month.
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, we're voting on the amendment. I just want to be clear on, so you know what you're voting on. We're voting on the article as amended. So with the first half of the year tax payment being due October 15th, 2013, and the second half, April 15th, 2014. Now, if this amendment passes, we're going to go back and vote. It sounds redundant, but we'll vote on the article again. If this amendment fails, we're going to go back and vote on as it's written here.
Or be amended again.
Or be amended again. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on that procedural? Okay. All those in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. Nice and high, please. Okay. All those opposed? Okay. So that motion for the amendment fails. Now we're back to the original article. Any questions, comments?
Question,
Yes.
move the article.
I heard it. What? Yes.
Can we move the article?
Yes, you can move it, yeah, okay. Okay, we have a motion to move it, that means, end discussion, that means there's no more debate. What I need is a 2/3 vote to do that. If I get 2/3 vote, we're just gonna go and vote on the article. Any questions on the procedure? Not the amendment,
Right.
the procedure, yes.
You don't need a second on a motion to move an article.
I did have one, yeah, I had one, yeah, thank you.
I missed that.
Yeah, thanks. I should have called it out. Okay, all those in favor of moving the question, going right to the vote. All those opposed? Okay, I have 2/3. So, we're going to vote on the article. Article 3 as written. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Article 4, to see if the town will vote to establish 7% as the rate of interest that shall be charged on delinquent taxes from the respective due dates. There's a note there, MRSA Title 36, and this is recommended by the Board of Selectmen. May I have a motion?
Moderator?
Yes.
Move the article, right?
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah, I have a motion and a second.
What was the motion again? In here.
As, to move the article as read.
Oh,
Yes.
Excuse me, before we move this out, I had my hand up before, you probably didn't even see me, but before you just moved it right off, my hand was already up.
To what?
He had his hand already up, that's the
I had my hand up down here before he had his motion to move this on here, I just didn't get called on, I don't know.
I apologize.
I would like a motion to move, not to move that, but to change that article.
Okay, what did you?
I don't know the proper pronunciation.
Yeah, go ahead and make an amendment.
I would like to see that lowered, the interest rate. We're not a bank here, we're not out to make tons of money and stuff. I think that Article 4, that should be lowered.
Okay, I appreciate the comment. Unfortunately, it's a capped article, means we can't lower it.
Why that?
You can only increase it.
The interest
the maximum.
up to 7%. Does that mean it has to be charged?
Maximum.
Increase, that was 7%. That is a capped article, as I understand it. Yes.
It is a capped article of 4%, so if we do lower that, we have to lower the interest rate charged, so they have to go hand in hand. I've asked this question during the budget meeting.
That's okay.
So if,
That's okay.
exactly, if you're
Yep.
saying that's gonna be, I brought that up before, if you want to lower one, you gotta lower the other one.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
That's fine.
that's the cap part of it.
Okay. So,
Yep.
if we amend this article, that we must amend the next one, is that correct? Okay. So, without
Make a
any,
motion to lower it.
without any objections, I will accept,
3%.
no objections from the board up here, I'll accept the amendment to, a motion to amend it then.
He's just gotta say what he wants to amend it to.
You know, 4 or 5% would be sufficient, you know, people are already having a hard enough time paying their taxes, sometimes coming up with the money and stuff like that. You know, people do pay their taxes, they are a little bit late sometimes, so it's hard enough to pay the taxes, now you want to penalize them because they can't get that money to you by a certain set date. I know you have a deadline that you file a lien to their property, that goes far enough, but charging them 7% on being a little bit late, I think that's a little good, myself.
What would you like to amend it to?
4 would be fine.
Just understand, if you amend that to 4, correct me if I'm wrong, the state mandate, the interest rate in the next article, correct, 1%. For if you
Leave
overpay.
that at 4, you don't have to.
No, if somebody overpays, it has to be 3%. There's gonna be a 3% gap between the two. They can't be even or equal, so if you
The
amend
bank
that,
doesn't pay that much money on your money, you're lucky if you're getting 5%, so let's change it, let's lower the 3% on that also. The 3% difference, whatever it has to come on.
I'm saying if you amend that to 4%, the article we're on right now,
Right.
then the next article would have to be,
And
the overpayment would be
One of us says an overpayment, how about we only pay them 0.5%, same as what a bank pays on your money in there.
Where it's fixed, if you go to 4 like you want, we have to set the next one at 1. That's
Okay, that's
just the
fine.
understanding that
That's
that's
fine,
what's
yeah.
gonna be voted on.
Yeah.
But it's gonna determine what the next one is by how we vote on this one. So,
Right, usually you don't overpay.
yeah.
The third and ninth.
What is it, Karen?
Okay, I have a motion to amend the article on the floor, so I need a second for that. And I have a second, so, yes, you're next.
What is the interest rate currently? What are we amending to?
It's currently 7%.
Currently 7.
Currently 7%. Yes.
Okay. Where in law do we have to even charge an interest rate for delinquent taxes? Is it within a state law or?
Yes, it's listed right there. That's the MRSA.
They say you have to accept an interest rate on delinquent
That's part of the
taxes,
budget, that was the question I asked, and that's what we found out, so it has to be that way.
but it can be any rate from where to where.
As long as it's 3 split, you can have 4 split, 5 split, as long as it's minimum of 3%
What's the
split
minimum?
between them.
What's the minimum?
Sounds like,
0 and 3, but there'd have to be a 3% split is all, so you get nothing back if you overpaid if you went to 3% split.
yes.
Actually, by law, you do not have to charge taxes interest for delinquent taxes. But if
Is
you
it
do,
3% or 0?
If you're charging something, you have to have a split.